Right. So the purpose of this video is to really quickly run us through the candidate side of things for from Talent Atrium. We are releasing a slightly longer version of the video, going into much more detail into the candidate side of things. And so if there's anything unclear, then please go ahead and watch that video. But for now, let's quickly jump in. If you go to the candidate side of things, you will be asked to either sign up or continue. You can sign up with Google if you like. I've already created an account here, and once I've signed in, this is where I land. Please do not stress about any personal details here. This is a randomly ChatGPT generated candidate profile. So yeah, once you land on your candidate profile, you will then obviously need to complete your candidate profile. You'll now see that this person has already uploaded their CV, and they have at least completed some of the assessments that's required. They can come here, edit their profile, so on and so forth. Upload your CV is fairly straightforward. Let me quickly just jump to assessments. Here is where you fill in your role assessments, and these are just a standard sort of behavioral set of questions that we use during the scoring and matching process to try and fit you and match you with your best available vacancies, abilities, those types of things. And then you just work your way through these. You don't have to do any of these. You have to do at least one of them. And they're sort of sequential, so you can't do number 2 or 3 before you've done 1 or 2. And different roles, different levels of vacancy will require different levels. So you will just have to work through them. But once you've done them once, that's you done. You don't have to come and do them over and over and over again. And one of the great benefits of this platform is you do the setup one time and you don't have to come back. I mean, I've myself have applied for many jobs, same platform, same criteria, and every single time you've got to upload your CV, you've got to answer a bunch of questions. None of that here. Once you've been assessed once, it's done. There's no continuous, I've got to do this over and over and over and over again. My application is fairly straightforward. Anything that you have applied for, you will be able to view here. There's nothing here you can actually manage. But you can see this person applied for this job here. Well, I applied for this job and I'm under review currently because the vacancy is still open, and I'm not a very good match. However, this one here I applied for, it's still also under review and I am a much better match here. And all that under review really here means is the vacancy is still open. At whatever point this vacancy gets closed, I will then get an automated email telling me either that I've been rejected and or shortlisted. And the other great thing, or the other real benefit and the reason for creating this whole platform, is because at the very least, if you are rejected, you will get an email telling you, listen, you've been rejected. And not will you just be told, listen, we're really sorry, you weren't successful this time. You will be told, you'll be given actionable points and actions to say, listen, this is where you're at. If you're going to apply for more jobs like this is what the shortlisted candidates on aggregate look like. Here are the things that you can improve upon yourself to, whether it's your CV, whether it's your skill set, whether it's whatever item or category it is, to stand a better chance when you in future apply for these kinds of roles. Rapid match I'll come back to in just 1 second. Browse jobs is fairly straightforward. I mean, there's all the available jobs that you can apply for, and you can see this candidate has already applied for all of these jobs. These jobs are currently unavailable. On the recruiter side of things, if a recruiter does not have enough credits to list or to process candidates, then basically what's going to happen is that will be currently unavailable, but they'll be notified, and then they will action that. You can filter by all these various filters. Privacy and settings, you can go through that on your own time. These are just your personal settings that you want to ensure that you've completed upon sign up. And then feedback. This is the whole purpose of this platform is to help people. My personal experience from applying for lots of jobs was absolutely abhorrent. Speaking to candidates, speaking to recruiters even told me that there's a problem on their side as well, which is why I've focused on solving this problem, and I cannot make it better if I don't have your input. So when you've got things, questions, queries, comments, whatever, pop me a mail. Let me see if I can make it better. This mail is purely for making the platform better. So if you've got critiques, comments, whatever, like anything, I welcome anything. if it's going to help us make a better platform that's going to serve the people that it was meant to be created for. Just quickly coming back to Rapid Match. Rapid Match is a premium service, and basically imagine you're on LinkedIn and you've got to go click apply. I mean, it's going to get a little bit monotonous after a while. The purpose of Rapid Match in this specific instance, and yes, it is going to be a paid for service. Everything else, obviously, on this platform for candidates are completely free. But basically, what a Rapid Match does is, once you've applied a certain set of filters, again, we'll explain this in much more greater detail in the full tutorial. Once you've applied your filters, you then click one time apply, and everything that's applicable to you, you will then be applied for, and you will then be considered. Now, whether or not you're shortlisted or considered for that role, that's not up to me. That's or us or the platform. That's up to the individual recruiter. But basically, it saves you that time of applying for a bunch of jobs one by one, manually, etc., etc. And that's it. That really is the quick overview of the Rapid Match platform from a candidate side of things. The main thing that you need to take away from here is that the scoring happens in such a way that we don't bias or we don't discriminate against one thing more than the other. We take everything into consideration. So it may mean in certain circumstances that a person with 20 years experience gets preference over, or gets not preference, gets a higher score over a person that is fresh out of university. Or it could happen that it happens completely both the other way around. The ultimate aim is to get the best candidate score the highest amount for the vacancy that is being applied for, so that you stand the best chance of being shortlisted, because your real profile shines through. Current ATS systems pretty much work on the fact of, if the person requires a degree and they don't have a degree, there's no match. We try to go beyond that. We try to look between, read not just the lines, but in between the lines, to really try and understand what this candidate is all about, and then give them the perfect match against their vacancy. The second thing that's really important for you to understand also is that we will give you feedback every single time there's a vacancy closes. There will be a closed loop. A recruiter cannot close a vacancy without giving feedback, and that feedback is automated, but that feedback is really based upon, where you are at, if you were rejected, where you are at versus where the shortlisted candidates are currently, and trying to close that gap, so the next time you apply for a similar role, then you stand a much better chance of getting it, because you've been given a set of actionable items or actionable steps that you can take to improve your chances for next time. And it really is the third point really is almost baked into that second point as well. In the very least, you'll always get feedback. You're not just going to get email saying, "Hey, sorry, you weren't successful this time. Please stay on our platform. Please don't unsubscribe. Please don't leave us," kind of thing. You'll get an email that says, "Here, this is what you can do." You will get feedback. You won't just get a mail as soon as you've applied saying, "Listen, hey, thanks so much. If you haven't heard from us in 2 weeks, then tough luck." It's that closing of the loop. I mean, I've applied for hundreds and hundreds of jobs, and you don't hear back from it, and that in itself becomes fatiguing and cause despondency. So that is the kind of the third element of what I've tried to build into this platform, is to get people at least some sort of closure, if you will. But that's it. I'm going to go into much more detail in the longer format video. So yeah, thank you very much for making it this far into the video. Anything else that I may have forgotten or whatever will be in the description. Thank you.